What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope you're all doing well. I have a special guest today. It is Ashton. Ashton, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. First time you've been on season 4, a couple times in season 3.
I'm glad we're not on Zoom anymore.
Yeah, it's very tough when I'm on break and I don't have access to the studio. I gotta just do the best I can.
We could just broke in.
I guess.
Nothing says we couldn't. Nothing
True.
said we could.
Yeah, exactly. But we're gonna do some game picks today. So let's jump right in. Thursday Night Football: Vikings against the Eagles.
I have a surprise pick.
You do?
I'm picking the Vikings over the
Really?
Eagles. And I'm gonna give you a reason because I don't think Philly is as good as it was last year. I don't think they're as dominant as they were. They just beat the Patriots by 5 points. Granted, I do think the Patriots are gonna be a good team. They have a really good defense. The defense showed out. And then the offense finally showed up, and it wasn't a Matt Patricia offense, surprisingly. I'll go more into the Patriots when that game comes up, and that's Sunday Night Football. But Thursday night, we might be in for a show. I just think the Vikings come down with it. They have the momentum. Not really momentum, but they have that edge that will give them that momentum after losing to Tampa. Like, who loses to Baker Mayfield? No offense to Baker. I'm just kidding. Baker did play well in that game. Well enough for the Buccaneers to beat the Vikings, but the Vikings just have an edge in this game where the Eagles don't. The Eagles won week 1, so they don't really have an edge. All they have is a hypeness that they won a game. And where the Vikings are just there and they're down in the 0-1 territory that half the league is currently in. So they have an edge. They probably in their head knew they should have beat Tampa, but they didn't. So they're going to come in this game and probably beat the Eagles in maybe like a 34-31 game.
All right, I'm going to take Philadelphia. I think it's going to be close. Eagles are at -7. I think taking the Vikings at +7 might not be a bad idea if you're a better. I won't be doing that because I just don't bet. And, but, you know.
Who bets?
I'm
just kidding. A lot of people do.
Yes. And, you know, do have a couple of guys out. I think it'll be close.
James Bradbury and Kenneth Gainwell.
The Bradbury might.
Bradbury is huge.
He's in
their secondary is not that great after him and
He's
Slay.
very good. Gainwell's a big part of the running game, so he won't be there. But Swift didn't play a lot in the first game. Nick Sirianni basically said he'll have some games that he'll play a lot and some that he won't. So they're definitely going by committee, so I think he'll get a lot more work. I just don't think the Vikings can stop the Eagles.
But I also don't think the Eagles' defense is really great this
Really?
year either. Because think about it, Mac Jones was throwing the dime against that defense. Like, I think they were playing like a New York Jets team like 7 years ago. You remember those teams, but I was looking at there's some plays that look Brady-esque from Mac against a great defense. Like he was throwing dimes in right here perfectly between two defenders, where I think Kirk can do that. Kirk is a good quarterback. We all bash him because prime time he doesn't play well because primetime Kirk is the worst quarterback in the NFL for some weird reason. But last year he did. Show up in some primetime games.
We actually do rip on primetime Kirk.
We do rip on primetime. I said even though we do rip on him, he's still a pretty good quarterback. It's a pretty good quarterback matchup as well because Kirk and Hurts could put on a show. Two high flying offenses because we can't forget the best receiver in the games is playing in this game, and Jay Jettas. He just gave me fantasy points. Him and Chase. I don't know how I have the top two receivers and only one shows out. I'm talking to you, Chase. So if you're watching this, play well this week. But
you get cursed for taking one of my players. That's called
you
karma.
traded him to me.
Yeah,
that's not my fault.
I knew he was gonna suck because I drafted him. I cursed them for you, and then they underperform.
Anyway.
Okay, Mr. 32 picks over there.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think a part of the reason the Eagles defense, at times
their front set, the front four, the D line is terrifying, especially Jalen Carter. I think it's just that linebacking core and the safety group is just not as good as it was last year because Nakobe Dean went down with an injury on Sunday, and I don't know how much he's gonna play. And their backups isn't that great. I'm not really scared. Who's the backups? Who else was playing at linebacker for them? Right. I couldn't tell you. I could tell you the D line, Fletcher Cox, who ended up going down in the game. You had Jalen Carter. You had pieces, Brandon Graham, right? Granted, the one thing that got me nervous is that they didn't get any pressure on Mac until the fourth quarter. Midway to the fourth quarter, they finally got their first sack. And that's something from the best front seven in the league, or what we deemed was the best front seven in the league. But you know what defense looked way better was the 49ers.
Yeah.
That's a defense that got pressure.
Yeah.
Whereas it wasn't the same. Like the Patriots defense that game, I think the Vikings can do the same. Send a blitz and you get in Hurts' face.
I don't know. The Patriots defense is much better than Minnesota's. Even I think the Vikings
But think about
defense
it,
is horrible.
Even though you don't have a great defense, there's still ways you can stop a great offense.
Oh yeah.
Just put pressure in Hurts' face. That's what we did. Once you get in Hurts' face, make him run. If you can just get enough people just to hold on for a second and be in front of those guys, he's throwing it out of bounds. If you just contain him, keep him so he doesn't run out and run to get yards, they can do it. It's just they gotta be smart. It's great communications with a bad defense. So
Yeah, I am gonna take Philly. I think it's close. I don't. Kirk Cousins has really struggled in prime time. There's always like one.
I think this is the primetime game that he actually balls out on.
There's one primetime game a year where Kirk Cousins goes off. The rest of the time, he has not
Sadly,
been
if
good.
they make the playoffs, he's gonna get a primetime game and choke it like he did last year against the Giants.
Yeah, I just think the Eagles are an overall better team, and I think it's close. But I'll take Minnesota. All right, moving on to our next game. Packers at the Atlanta Falcons.
Packers easily.
Yeah, the Packers looked very good week 1.
Jordan Love. We bashed him, and I remember all of us talking.
Who's we? I did not bash him.
That is true.
I'm clearing my name right now. I did not bash
Are
him.
you sitting in front of a camera right now?
What?
Like, are you sitting on camera right
Dude,
now? Where your
I
face is
literally
being shown?
This is why we need a monitor up for senior project. I am literally in picture right now.
Ooh,
Right
there we
above
go.
your head. Right above your head, Ashton.
Oh, there it is.
Your left. To your left. So you point. Yep, exactly. You're pointing at me right now, buddy. You're pointing at me right now.
So Justin, so
you know what? You know what? That actually goes hard. Do that again. You won't.
what's up, Justin?
What's up?
Yeah. So like, I remember me and you bashing Jordan Love. I know Justin did say a few things about Jordan Love to Liam, but
What did I say?
you were the one going at Liam for having Jordan Love as a quarterback.
I was not going at Liam for having Jordan Love as a quarterback. I was going at Liam for being a Packers fan. There's a difference.
But yeah, Jordan Love looked really good week 1. The Falcons, that
was a weird game for the Falcons.
Yeah.
How does Drake London not come down with the catch and only one target?
Well, that's because Desmond Ritter is
And also,
actually awful.
where was Bijan?
He got a lot of work. He didn't get the goal line carries.
Like
They give
you
to
have one
Algier.
you have one TD, but you let Tyler Algier. Granted, no offense to Tyler Algier, but he should not be your goal line back. Bijan should be, but yeah, I think Green Bay can run away with this. They ran away with the Bears, so I think they could run away with the Falcons. I'm not really scared of Desmond Ritter. They also have Jonathan Smith on the team, so
I'm a little shocked that the opening line was almost at -1 for Atlanta, and then now it's at Packers at 1.5. That seems awfully low. I would definitely take the Packers 1.5 in this game.
yes, the score has the Packers -1.
Okay,
so they want this. They're gonna want the score to be 27-26. That's what they think.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be much more than that. Also, the Packers. Atlanta's defense is better, but the reason I don't think Atlanta's gonna be very good because their passing offense I don't think is really any better than it was last year, and was not good last year. They'll run the ball really well. They got a good offensive line, but the defense is better. But like when you really can't pass the ball, they need a top-notch defense. And although it's a decent unit, I don't think it's a top-notch, like top 7 or 8 unit. So I'm gonna take Green Bay.
Falcons is a young team I like though. I do like.
They're a young team. They're in a very bad division. That division is awful.
I think the team that wins that division will be 7-10.
I wouldn't be surprised at most 9-8, but after seeing
maybe 10-7 with the Saints if they play well.
Maybe.
Does Aaron Jones potentially being out of the game, potentially being hurt, change
Dillon.
it a little bit?
I like AJ Dillon.
Yeah, I like AJ Dillon.
I think he can take that role. He's a very powerful runner.
Aaron Jones is also a huge loss as well.
He's a huge loss in their passing game. But if they get Chris and Watson back this week, I think they should be fine and be able to hold off for a week without Aaron Jones. I think it would make the game closer than it should be.
I think with Aaron Jones, I think the Packers could win by easily 2 scores. With him, I think it's a 1-score game, but I still think the Packers win.
Yeah.
So, it's an interesting question, though. He's a large piece of what to do, especially for an offense that's going to have to run the ball a lot, because obviously you got a quarterback in Jordan Love who's not played a lot of football, and they got a very young receiver
he was
as well.
slinging it last week.
He did look good against the Bears, but yes. Raiders at the Bills. All right, so.
Bills.
Raiders.
I'm sorry.
Justin's taking the Raiders. Are you, Justin?
I'm taking the Bills.
I'm taking the Raiders.
The Raiders don't scare anyone. They have a quarterback that's most likely
Yeah,
to
but
play.
neither does Josh Allen's arm.
I'll take Josh Allen's arm over Jimmy Garoppolo any day.
Here's the thing: how do you have Stephon Diggs on your football team and overthrow him 3 times?
He also faced a great defense.
He did.
It wasn't like you're like bashing the Jets defense as if it was bad.
I'm not bashing the Jets defense.
You're making
I'm
it sound
bashing
like that.
I'm bashing the Bills offense.
Here's the thing. It's week 1. We overreact on week 1 every week.
Yes.
Every year we react over week 1. We could watch the Chiefs get annihilated 45-7 and we would overreact that the Chiefs aren't good and then they'll blow out the next 3 teams they face.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt that Josh Allen was facing that front 7 and they were getting to his face and that's why he was overthrown.
I will say the Jets front 7 is really good and the Bills offensive line is not good.
No, the line is not great and he's facing a worse defense than the Raiders.
You're gonna be shitting bricks when you realize that when we watch the game, the Raiders are actually gonna win. The Raiders are about to win by the fattest field goal you've ever seen in your life.
So Justin's calling.
But here's
Justin's
the thing:
calling it.
does the Raiders' offense actually scare you? I'm not scared of the Raiders' offense. They do have Devontae Adams. Yes, they do have Josh Jacobs, but I can cover those. You can cover those and hide them. You have a solid corner. Trey White's a solid corner. I think he can keep up with Adams, and he's not going to stop him. He's not going to go give him like a 1-catch game, but he's going to give him a challenge. Yeah. Tre'Davious White's very physical when he's healthy. You got to use the keyword healthy because there's like 8 million players in the NFL that is keyword healthy. But like, I'm not afraid of Jimmy Garoppolo. He's not a guy who's going to come in. Like, I could name you like 20 guys that I think are better than Jimmy Garoppolo, and one of them includes Mac Jones, because at least Mac Jones has an athletic ability where Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't. But like, the Raiders' offense is literally consists of Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs, and Jacoby Myers. Who's scared of Jacoby Myers? I was a Patriots fan. I saw him for 4 years.
Clearly, Jake, the way that he absolutely lit up Jake's opposing Jake's fantasy team.
Okay, that's different. Fantasy points, but also, how many times can you have a game like that?
Always.
Jacoby Myers is more of a yardage guy than a touchdown guy.
Yeah.
He only got 2 touchdowns. That's what really got most of his points. And I'm not trying to bring fantasy into this, but Jacoby Myers is that guy that's going to get you the 3rd and longs, but he's not going to get you yards after catch. So he's going to catch the ball and pretty much hit the ground. The amount of times when he was in New England and Mac would throw a bomb to him wide open down the field, that dude managed to fall to the ground. No one's near him. If Jake was the defender and I was Jacoby Myers, he would be out that door. And Jacoby Myers managed to fall. So I gotta give it to Buffalo. I think they have an itch to win this game because they blew a 10-point lead.
Yeah.
I think the Bills should have won that game. No offense to the
Jets.
They
absolutely should have. They had Zach Wilson in there.
There was no quarterback play for the Jets. Like, we saw 4 snaps of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So it's like the Bills should have won that game. So I think they have an edge, and they're going up against a mediocre team that I think they're just going to come in, do their diligence, and say hi and leave the stadium with a blowout win. I think this is going to be about a 30-7 game.
I think it'll be closer than that, but I am taking the Bills. The Bills are not as bad as we saw.
No. Their defense was good.
Week. Yeah, they also played the worst quarterback I've ever seen.
But even with Rodgers there, they still kind of held them in check.
And I think they're a lot better. I think Allen bounces back, and I am taking Bills. I think the Rams are really bad. I'm taking the Bills. Mm-hmm. They're also at home, which will help.
That's it.
They were on the road, and the atmosphere
Orchard
at
Stadium.
MetLife was
MetLife was cheering, and then we're never gonna have that cheer again because Aaron Rodgers is not there anymore.
We'll see. All right, Ravens Bengals, a rivalry game.
Bengals.
Not the Bengals.
I got Bengals. I like the Bengals. I have nothing against the Ravens. I think this is going to be a very back and forth game. This is going to be a shootout, and I think it's going to be very high scoring. I do think both Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Lamar both have back-to-back games. They both played bad last week.
Yes.
And I could test for that because Lamar gave me 0.29 points.
And Joe Burrow gave me 3.2.
And so, actually, with the adjustment, he gave me 1.79, but that didn't really change much. But I do expect the Bengals to come out. I think their offense will click this week. The Ravens, they still scare me. It's not really Lamar. It's just like all the pieces around him. Like, does Nelson Aguilar work? Does Odell Beckham work? we already know Mark Andrews and Zay Flowers are working because Zay Flowers had 81 yards in his debut or something like that. But there's also not a piece on that offense that really scares me. Yes, I love Mark Andrews, but if you double team him, who scares you? Odell is not the same player we used to know. Nelson Aguilar has zero hands.
Not very good.
Yeah, he's not that great.
Oh my, Nelson Aguilar.
And I witnessed that for 2 years. He had one highlight play in New England that was last year against the Pittsburgh Steelers where he lost. I think it was Levi Wallace. I could be wrong. The Steelers have so many no-name corners. I couldn't tell you.
Hello, the man in the mini screen talking. I'm taking the Bengals here.
Okay.
I like that take.
Same.
Well, actually, I was gonna ask a little question here.
Okay. Of course.
So you have Joe Burrow, who's the highest paid QB in NFL history right now.
Right.
Yep.
You have Lamar Jackson, who I think is either second or third.
I think he's third. No, Herbert. Herbert's second.
Yeah, he's third.
Herbert and then Lamar's third, and then Hurts is fourth.
Okay, so still he's the third highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
He's top 5.
He's top 5. Both Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson did not have a very good game, especially considering the money that was given to them over the offseason. So what quarterback has more that they need to prove?
Lamar. Lamar has way more to prove because he hasn't been healthy in 2 years.
Yeah, Joe Burrow has established himself as probably the second best quarterback in football.
And you can argue he is the best quarterback. You can actually put an argument there with Mahomes.
You probably could.
You put the edge to Mahomes, but I think it's 1A, 1B. I don't think there's 2. I think it's 1A, 1B, then there's 3. Because Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes have proved to actually be legit quarterbacks, where when you face them, you have to game plan.
Right.
Granted, Josh Allen, yes, you game plan around him with his running ability. You don't game plan around his arm. You game plan around Burrow and Mahomes' arm. Because you don't know what pass Mahomes is going to throw. Right. And you don't know how accurate Joe Burrow is going to be. Joe Burrow I have a feeling he's going to be the first quarterback in a while to complete 100% of his passes with 30-plus attempts. I think he could do it. I think he has the very chance that he could be that quarterback. And many people might be like, you think that? You think so? Huh? You really think so? I'm like, yeah. I could literally say I love Joe Burrow.
That face you just made, you look like you stepped in shit.
I gotta watch that replay when it comes out. But Lamar, we put him at the edge where he's he could be a top 5 quarterback. We still put him top 10, but we have an itch where we keep him at 6 or 7 because he can't stay healthy.
Yeah,
so he has so much more to prove, and he's got more weapons this year than he had last year. Last year was just Rashad Bateman, and it was I couldn't even tell you. Duvernay and Mark Andrews. He had 3 guys, 3 guys you knew the name of. So he has way more to prove. They brought him pieces this year. If he doesn't do anything this year, we're looking at maybe the top 5 overpaid quarterback.
Yeah, and Burrow reestablished himself. Lamar's under a lot of
Burrow's even to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and Lamar's only won 1 playoff game in 5 years. He hasn't played a full season in 3 years, and he got a bag.
And he faced a crappy Titans team.
Burrow, he proved his worth already. Lamar has to go out and do it. So to me, there's more pressure on Lamar. But I want to take the Bengals. The Bengals last year, offensively got off to a little bit of a slow start, mainly because the offensive line was still gelling, and
I think it's doing the same thing this year.
I was gonna say that you bring in Orlando Brown, you move Jonah Williams to the other side of the line. He's coming off of injury.
And they just cut Leo Collins.
Did they?
Yep, he's off the PUP list, and there's 2 teams interested already.
All right, so I think I could see it being a little lower scoring than we thought because both of the Bengals offensive line is still trying to gel again. The Ravens offense is a little bit new look, so they're also trying to gel. Mm-hmm. But I will take the Bengals in this one. All right, this should be a good game. Seattle Seahawks and at the Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions. I love the way they played against the Chiefs.
Lions, it's too easy.
They played the most complete game I've ever seen from a team. It wasn't perfect, no, but that was the most team-oriented game. Everyone made a play.
Yeah,
everyone did something. Everyone included. They shut down an offense. Granted, Kadarius Toney dropped 17 passes that game and pretty much had 1 catch for literally 0 yards. But because he gave me 1 point, so it won my league. So. He definitely had a catch for 10 yards, but that doesn't even matter. The amount of drops he had, but they locked down Mahomes.
Yeah,
they made Mahomes look not like that. And I also like Dan Campbell, how ballsy he is.
Fake punt was 20.
in the first quarter.
Yep.
In the first quarter, you do that in the fourth.
Big Dick Dan.
Literally, like he is so ballsy.
He is.
So it's like I'm taking that over. Like, granted, I do think Seattle is a good team. I think the Rams came out and shocked the world last week and saying, "Hey, we're still here." Like, yeah, we don't have Cooper Kupp, but hey, we're here. We're showing you we're here. We're gonna beat the Seattle team that you think is better than us, and that's what they did. I still think Seattle still wins that division, or can fight for the win for the division that the San Francisco 49ers. I do think actually San Francisco does win the division, but I think Seattle could give an edge. Like maybe the Saints, not Saints, the 49ers go 12-5 or 13-4. I think they could be 12-5, 11-6, somewhere around that range, maybe 10-7. And I think the Rams also go up there as well, and they're 10-7, chilling in that playoff spot. But there was nothing in that game that told me Seattle deserved to win against the Rams. So they have a wake-up game this week against the Lions, but I think the Lions are just a little too good right now. I think they have a fire start, and I think they're just going to keep rolling. I think they take that momentum they just took against the Chiefs last week, coming here and being like, hey, we're legit. Don't sleep on us. And they're going to come win a close game against Seattle.
Yeah, I'm taking Detroit as well. I love Seattle. I think the gap between them and San Francisco is actually very close, but although I think I'm the same boat as you, close, but the Niners come out on top. But the Lions looked really, really good. Goff looked okay, but the running game looked good. I think Jahmyr Gibbs will get more involved as the season goes on. They got a great offensive line.
And Brian Branch.
Branch had the pick six. The Kadarius Toney basically handed to him, but it's yeah, literally. But yeah, I love the way the Lions are playing. They are a really good, hard-nosed football team, and should be a really good game. But I'm taking the Detroit Lions. All right, Los Angeles Chargers at Tennessee Titans.
Chargers. Yeah, I think it's an easy pick. I think it's the Chargers. I don't think nothing in that.
Just gloss over this real quick. I mean,
it's kind of mid-off, I will say.
No, it's not a mid-off.
As Justin would say.
No,
it's not a mid. Let me tell you the definition of a mid-off. Okay,
Cardinals. Cardinals Steelers.
No, that's a toilet bowl. There's a difference. A mid-off is between two teams who are going to be so incredibly decent, so incredibly mediocre that if they win or if they lose, neither team really a mid-off consists of two teams to where if they win it's huge, but they don't make it to the playoffs, or if they lose, it's also not that huge because they're not tanking either. That's a mid-off. A toilet bowl is between two teams who are probably going to fight over Caleb Williams.
But here's the thing, I don't see this as a mid-off. I do think Chargers are actually going to be really good this year. And they kind of showed it last week.
That's why I'm going Chargers.
They put 34 points last week. Granted, I don't think Miami's defense is that great anyway. But Tennessee showed me nothing in that game that they deserve even to win a game. I don't even know how they even fought. They hit 5 field goals. The score was 16-15. They scored 0 touchdowns. Zero. They played. That was my most boring offense game I've ever seen. I didn't even watch the game. I just saw the score at the end.
Why are you staring at me in such anger?
Because I like you, Justin. you're a great guy.
Of course I
am. I hope Alex sees that as well.
Popped off.
So they showed me nothing to where I am wow, Tennessee. It's Derrick Henry and an aging Diop, right? Diop chose the Titans over probably 3 other teams. I doubt it was just Titans and Patriots that gave him offers. I think out of those two, the Patriots are the better option. I think, to be honest, the Patriots are a better option. He has a better chance of vying for a playoff spot.
I think I'd rather play for a high school team than the Tennessee Titans as well.
The
team is so boring.
Justin said at the townhouse. He said Tennessee is the place where good receivers go.
They do.
Julio Jones. He mentioned Julio Jones. Andre Johnson from the Texans. We all remember Andre Johnson. He was a beast. I just remember the fight he used to get with what was the corner for the Titans?
Courtney Finnegan.
Yep. Right? Courtney Finnegan was a good corner. He was very feisty. And then to go on a fight, Andre Johnson goes to Tennessee, and you never heard his name again. And then Randy Moss did it too.
Yep.
And so, Tennessee has no quarterback.
No.
They have a mediocre receiving core. Yeah, and that includes with D-Hop in it. Where the Chargers, their offense look great.
Yeah.
Their offense look phenomenal.
Ashton, can you wait 2 seconds? I've had an 8 a.m. and not even I'm sleeping on Will Levis.
I don't think anyone's sleeping on Will
Are
Levis.
you telling me that you're gonna take the fattest catnap on a guy who puts mayonnaise in his coffee?
Yes.
Disgusting.
Who puts mayonnaise in ketchup? Like coffee. It's like putting ketchup in coffee. Like what?
Oh God.
Like
Who
right?
puts you definitely put your good ketchup.
I don't drink coffee. And when I drink coffee, I get three packets of sugar and almond milk. That is my coffee right there. It's
Yeah,
the
and
most
ketchup.
plainest thing I've ever seen. And then you put like whatever flavor in. Like if it's like I did like butter pecan from Dunkin', right? I get a butter pecan with three packets of sugar and almond milk. That was it. There was nothing else in my coffee. It was pretty much 3 ingredients the whole time.
So why is your coffee order as mid as the Titans?
I also don't drink coffee anymore, so it's not as mid anymore because I don't drink it. So, unlike the Tennessee Titans, I give up.
Yeah, I'm going to I am also taking the Chargers. Ryan Tannehill is horrible. The Titans' only way to score points here is just literally to run the ball of Henry 30 times a game. Literally, yeah, that's literally what they gotta do. I think the Chargers' defense is extremely overrated. Every single year, people hype up the Chargers' defense, and then they suck, and they wonder why they've been on injuries. No, the defense underperformed every class. They freaking suck, and they couldn't stop a nosebleed. That being said, the Titans cannot pass the ball. So I'll take the Chargers. Let's go to our next game here. It is... Oh, God. The Chicago Bears...
Oh, this is a mid-off. This is the mid-off.
The Bears and the Bucks.
No. This is a toilet bowl.
This is a toilet bowl.
Okay,
this
is the toilet bowl.
This is between two teams that are going to suck this year.
Yeah.
And the answer is, so if anybody...
Who do you pick?
Who do I pick?
Yeah, Bears and Bucks.
So...
I need the pick.
So what does So who do the Bears not have?
A quarterback.
No. What player specifically do the Bears not have?
Bigger. And Sean Tucker.
Sean Tucker, baby. So I'm taking the Buccaneers.
Oh, my God.
I'm taking the Buccaneers. I don't give a shit if anybody can get moonied. I'm taking the Tuck wagon over anybody. I am going to be pleased with the outcome. I am going to be pleased with Sean Tucker's performance.
Justin's definitely tweeting later.
If I still had Twitter, I would. If I still had Twitter, I would.
He's
Don't
making
tempt me,
songs
buddy.
just saying that he's picking the Bucks this week.
Don't tempt me, buddy. Do not tempt me.
Do it. You will. You won't. You won't.
You won't.
You won't just reinstall it, sign in.
I already have it installed.
Wait, I mean sign in, send that tweet, and then unsign out.
It already is installed. I need to make a new account. I deleted my account.
So, it's hard to pick because the Bears were god awful.
It's the Buccaneers. It's the Buccaneers.
But the Bucks actually managed to get a win.
It's the Buccaneers.
Can you stop trying to influence what I'm going to say?
Yeah.
It's the Buccaneers.
You don't even know who I'm picking. Who said I wasn't picking the Bucks?
You are.
With that being said, I'm picking the Shanghai Sharks. I'm just kidding. I do have to give the edge to the Bucks because at least they actually won last week.
Let's fucking go.
And it's not because of Sean Tucker.
Right, I'm gonna give you.
I'm gonna give you the basis of why I picked them.
And I'm gonna give you another basis to follow up with that too.
Yes,
And
that's not.
It is not. I promise you. I swear to you, it does not involve Sean Tucker.
Okay.
Mike Evans.
No, it involves this. It involves for some reason. I said this on the last time it was on Jake's podcast after I took a sabbatical because I was just crying over Aaron Rodgers.
Did you go on a darkness retreat yet?
Well, I went to bed at 11 o'clock last night and
That's
said it was
fair.
dark in my room. So yeah, I took a nice darkness
fair.
retreat. But anyway, so the reason why I was saying this on the last podcast I was on with Jake, which was on Monday, I believe, and what I said was Baker Mayfield has some tendency to go up against teams that he really shouldn't. In this case, with the Buccaneers, no, he's not in favor at any time. For some reason, he'll just wake up.
He does have a tendency to win big games.
He does.
As the Steelers in 2021. Or 2020, I mean.
Yeah.
Actually, the game was played in 2021.
It was.
I was not wrong. They did play that game in 2021, but yes, the reason I'm picking Tampa is because they won last week, and it was kind of impressive that they beat the Minnesota Vikings. Because I can go through everyone. I can go through every website, every top source of sports, and I bet you that game was Vikings over Bucks, Vikings over Bucks, Vikings over Bucks, Vikings over Bucks. And maybe the only person that picked the Bucks to win was a Bucks fan that's so biased that Tom Brady's in retirement. So like, I just don't. The Bears didn't scare me. Like
No.
a new offense with an offensive minded coach, and who was your star? Like you got DJ Moore, you got a legit wide receiver. Like to honestly, I don't think he's a wide receiver 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a legit wide receiver 2. But having him as your wide receiver 1 is not an issue. Like I'm not like bashing it. Like he can be your wide receiver 1. I just don't see him as a big play guy. Whereas like a Diop or Devontae Adams are like that guy, but they just didn't show me. And Fields did not look good at all.
No.
I didn't see any promise in that game. So the Bucks have to take it. Their defense looked good. Their offense was solid enough to win a game. I think they can do it again against the Bears because the Bears defense doesn't scare me. They don't have Roquan Smith anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bears. I think they nick the Bucks. I like Justin Fields a lot. I think this is gonna take time because they have a lot of moving parts there, and I don't think the Bears are all that great. I think they're gonna take time to challenge. I think they're still a year or two away from being a legit contender. But I'll take the Bears to edge out the Bucks. I think Justin Fields is better. All right, this could be a game of the week. Chiefs at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You want to hear my take?
Yes.
Because we're here to pick. I have the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's very fair.
I think the Chiefs are 0-2. I think the Jags are legit this year. Calvin Ridley is a monster.
Yes.
That duo of Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley, I'm still a little bit sour, but about Calvin Ridley because the Patriots almost got him last year and they took him away right before he got suspended, and I was mad. But that duo is legit.
Yeah.
I think they could go, and they're home. They're at home. They're in Jacksonville this week.
Yeah.
I think they could take their home field advantage and actually beat Kansas City. Because for the first time in a while, first time probably ever, Jacksonville actually has a legit team.
Yeah.
Like, this is the first time we ever sat there and go, Jacksonville. Jacksonville's a team.
I want to kind of disagree with that because in 2019 they were really, really good.
You mean 2017?
2017.
But that was 1 year. Were you kind of like last year we woke up and we're like Jacksonville could be good. This year we're like they're gonna change the next step. Next year we're gonna say they might make the AFC Championship game. Maybe next year after that we're saying they're
But I don't want to paint this picture to where I would say they were never ever good. I mean, Saxonville
I'm not saying they were good. I mean like where you woke up early in the season and gone, this team's good.
Yeah.
Like in 2017, we didn't expect Jacksonville to just erupt like that.
Also, they've had years here and there where they were good, but we never had any confidence they can put.
We're saying it
sustain
consistently.
success.
Like we're saying
it's the first time in the franchise's history that they might have put together a sustained run.
Because last time when they were to the AFC Championship in 2017, we were legitimately saying the next season like, hey, maybe they'll make that next step. Maybe they'll go back. And then what do they do next year?
5 wins.
Bingo. I was just waiting for someone else to say because I didn't want to say it. But the Chiefs didn't impress me last week. I know they didn't have Kelsey. I know they didn't have Chris Jones, but that defense was iffy. Goff is also 2-0 against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Mahomes didn't look great. The O-line was, my God. I couldn't think Jawan Taylor was more offside than a chicken crossing a road 8 times. I think you have a better chance of watching a sloth run than Jawan Taylor not being offsides. So it's like, I just think it's more impressive. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars team is just more suited to win big games. Mm-hmm. This game's going to be close. It's not going to be like the Chiefs are getting blown out. It's going to be something similar. I think it's going to be a 24-20 game, 24-21, maybe a 24-17. But somewhere in that range, I think the Jaguars are going to win.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Chiefs. Chris Jones is back. I assume he's going to play. Kelsey
up in the air probably with that.
Yeah, Kelsey practiced today. I think he could play. I think they'll look a little bit better. And even if Jones and Kelsey play, especially Jones might not look like they're in midseason form because they won't be. But I am going to take Kansas City.
I got to break the tie.
What's up?
I got to break the tie.
What's your pick?
So both of them. So I think this game's going to be really fun.
Yep.
Jake, you're absolutely right. Game of the week.
This is game of the week.
and it's against two very, very, very good quarterbacks.
Yes.
Arguably, I mean, you could easily say Trevor Lawrence is a top 7 quarterback,
Absolutely.
if not top 5 in the NFL.
I think he's top 5.
I think he's
so
top.
too.
I think he's top 5 in the NFL.
I could give you my top 5 list.
Yeah.
Let me guess. Your top 5 list in no particular order goes as the following. It goes Patrick Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Hurts, Trevor Lawrence.
No. Mahomes,
Okay.
Burrow,
Okay.
If you say fucking Mac, I'm muting you.
Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert.
That's fair.
that is fair.
Okay.
I
that's
think
fair.
Justin Herbert has an edge over
Okay,
Hurts.
but anyway, so anyway,
Yeah, I would never put Mac in the top 5
yeah, but okay.
unless he plays like a top 5 quarterback.
Anyway,
but like,
so it's against two very good quarterbacks, but as everybody knows, QBs aren't the only thing that matters. They're an incredibly important part of the game, but
Right.
they're not all that matters.
I think Jacksonville's
even,
all around.
Even if your weapons are good, even if your quarterback is mediocre like Zach Wilson and your weapons are good, you could still win a game. So because of that, and because I don't trust and because I don't trust Kadarius Toney, I'm going to take in a very, very close affair. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right. So now we have
another toilet bowl.
Colts at the Texans.
Rookie quarterbacks.
Yes.
This is the rookie bowl. I'm not even calling it a toilet bowl. I'm just going to call it a rookie bowl.
Yeah.
I don't think either of the teams make a playoff run. I don't even think they even make a chance of contending for the playoffs.
No.
Because the Colts have no receiving core. Stroud's too young. I like Stroud's receiving core. I
do
think
too.
in a few years it could be a legit core. But like, I don't even know who to pick. It's so mid. Like these teams are so. What the heck is going on here?
Exactly.
Like Houston may have a problem, but Indy might have a problem.
Do you know? All right, fine.
But here's the thing. I'm gonna take Houston.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was about to say,
I'm gonna have to pick
I'm
Houston
gonna
because
take
Tank Dell's on the
Texans.
team.
I'm taking Tank Dell.
I like Stroud a little bit better than Richardson. I think Stroud's more ready for the game, where Richardson's gonna be
Richardson's
take
a
a couple
little
years.
bit of a project.
Yeah. So
Yes.
like I also like the coaching. I like D'Amico Ryan
I like him a lot.
who is it? Steve.
Shane Steichen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, no, I can't even explain. I couldn't even pronounce his last name. Shane. Sorry, Shane. I'm not bashing you. I can't say your last name, so don't get offended. But it's like he's too new. He's too new. I just feel like he's not ready for a head coaching position yet. But I think at some point he would. So I think he's gonna have a lot of growing pains this year, and it's gonna show in coaching decisions, play calls, and all that stuff. Where I think D'Amico Ryans is just ready for it. I pretty much most of Shanahan's crew does well in the NFL.
Yeah.
Robert Saleh is the only one really up in the air, but part of me doesn't think it's his fault. I think it's Joe Douglas's fault. But this year is gonna be really year to prove it. Like,
Right.
hey, make Zach good, right?
Mhm.
Like, but other than that, I love D'Amico Ryans. I like his defensive mentality. I think they know how they do it, what they're gonna do with Stroud. Don't force it, but kind of baby him. Put the training wheels on, and they're just gonna let it roll. And I just see Houston going in Houston, beating the Colts. I just don't see anything the Colts scare me. Like Michael Pittman doesn't scare me.
Yeah,
at all.
I'm also gonna take Houston. For this reason, like Houston's young and they're promising. They're gonna obviously. I said this when I did my NFL preview. There's a lot that I like. They're finally building something. There's gonna be a lot growing with him because they have a rookie head coach. They have a rookie head quarterback. They have a rookie coordinator. They have a lot of rookies, a lot of young guys. But with Anthony Richardson, he's so raw. There's going to be times where he shows you a lot of promise, but there's also going to be games where he looks rough. So although he looked pretty good last week, I could see this being a week maybe he looks a little bit more rough. So in a game that I wouldn't turn it on because I don't think it's going to be very good, I'm going to take Houston. All right, we get into the 405 slot. San Francisco 49ers and Los Angeles Rams in a divisional matchup.
Niners.
Can we
easily.
just blow right through this?
Yeah, it's Niners.
We don't need to discuss this. Like, this is like a zero discussion. This is
Like,
Niners
yes,
all the
the
way.
Rams looked good last week, but the Niners defense looked like the greatest team on turf. Like that was like the '85 Bears right there.
Yeah.
I
I'm also taking the Niners. They are
have to explain.
loaded. Loving some Brock Purdy.
Talent.
We are all on the Niners. All right.
Mid. This is the garbage bowl right here.
All
This is
right.
not even a toilet bowl. This is garbage.
The New York Giants at the Arizona Cardinals at 405.
No. This is a toilet bowl.
I think it's worse than toilet.
All right,
I think this is the
just,
garbage chute bowl.
Okay, guys, here's a discussion question. By show of hands, who drove here?
I know where he's going.
He's doing the frat talk.
Who took the bus? Who took the bus? Are you fired up? Do you feel fired up? You got fire in your belly.
All right.
I have to pick Giants. I think Giants win this game. I literally have. Who the heck is starting for Arizona?
Josh Dobbs.
Oh yeah, no, definitely the Giants. Definitely the Giants. I think it's a close game because the Giants didn't show me anything last week, but Giants had just had more talent than the Cardinals, so I'm just picking the Giants that way.
Yeah.
That's the reason I'm picking them. I didn't see anything last week. They managed to put up 0 points. 0. A goose egg. I can go down the street to find a farm and get a goose egg. It pay maybe a cent. People paid money to go to that game and watch their team get obliterated on national television.
You don't sound too fired up right now.
I am not. How am I supposed to be fired up on a garbage chute
You clearly
bowl?
did not take the bus here.
I did not take the bus. I drove here. I drove here because I had to, right? I get paid according to the Cardinals players, so they get paid to go there. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Giants as well. They looked pathetically awful, but they cannot.
Is pathetic? I think that's offensive to the word pathetic.
They looked not good at all. But you literally
that was
cannot
the worst.
get any worse.
That game was. They showed to be the worst team ever in that game.
Yeah.
I think the Patriots back in the 70s when they were the worst. 1991. 1991. Sports Illustrated named the Patriots as the worst team in NFL history. I think they topped that.
Okay. So now here's my take.
Okay.
So, coaching, of course, is better.
Right.
Brian Dable.
Receiving wise,
Same.
I like the Cardinals a little better.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the same.
I don't know. I think Hollywood's better than Slayton and Sterling Shepard. I'm not gonna lie.
I think they got the better player there, but I think overall wise,
quarterbacks are equally awful. Except one's overpaid and one's almost 30. So
thank you, Daniel Jones, because if Max shows up to be a legit quarterback, we have to pay him like $50
So
million.
here's what I'm saying. Get your crayons out, everybody, because it is a draw. It is a tie.
He's doing a tie.
Again? You're doing this again, dude?
No. So hear me out. If there's any team that consistently draws against dog shit teams, it is the New York Giants. It is always the Giants. I am saying it's a 3-3 tie.
Jesus.
It is going to be a special teams masterclass all the way through. I'm saying it's a draw. I don't feel confident I'm not picking any of these teams to win because both of them don't deserve it.
Okay. That's all I got to say after
All right,
that.
we got another good game. 425 Jets at the Cowboys.
I got Cowboys. I'm speechless right now. They were really impressive last week. I know,
insane.
like that defense shut down.
Impressed.
That defense shut down Daniel Jones because last year
Daniel Jones is not good.
I know they're not good, but here's the thing: their offense should still score a point, at least a field goal, at least a touchdown. They held that Giants team to 0. Yeah, granted, they don't have the talent at receiver. They have a solid tight end when healthy. When healthy is great, but he hasn't been healthy in like a year and a half. So I can't really talk about Darren Waller. And they got a running back that's legit. But the thing is, we kept talking. Like, you talk about Dallas, we don't see their defense as that good.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see them shutting out teams like that. They managed to shut out a team that was in the playoffs last year as well.
Mm.
And they went to the divisional round.
Yeah.
They didn't even just...
Like, won a playoff game on the road.
Yep. And they went to Minnesota and beat a team that was, well, at the time was going up and down, but still, there was nothing like to me that was like the Jets should win this game.
Mm.
Like, granted, I love the guy's defense. It's legit. I think it's gonna be a close game. I just don't trust Zach Wilson. I don't think he's gonna make any read that's correct. Like, if you had Rodgers in this game, I can say Jets. I'm picking Jets.
Mm.
If you have Rodgers, I'm picking Jets. And I probably would have picked it kind of easily, but I just think Dak wants to play better. I think the offense for Dallas is just going to be better. I think you guys are going to have growing pains now with Zach Wilson because you have to change. You're changing your offense now. It's going to be more run heavy with Breeze. It's going to be RPOs, probably something quick where Zach just gets the ball out fast.
That's what
And I just don't think it's going to work this week. Maybe next week the Patriots, maybe it could edge out, but I don't know. I think you guys go back to the way you guys were last year. And I hate to say it because there's so much hype around this team with Rodgers. And as a Patriots fan, I thought you guys were going to actually be good this year. And now I'm like, now we're going back to last year. We're just going back to last year, and they had one more talent in offense.
Yeah, this game is a big test because if Zach goes out there and looks serviceable, you can think, all right, maybe, just maybe, even if Zach Wilson isn't that good, maybe they can sneak into the playoff. But if he goes out there and looks awful, now it's like
I think this is the worst test game for you guys.
Yeah.
This week and next week, I think, is the worst for you guys to test with Zach Wilson because you're facing Dallas, whose defense was great last week, and you're facing New England, who also has a really good defense, and you're facing Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick is like the Jets' worst.
We all know what happened last time Zach played New England.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, but like, and on the other side of things, as I was saying, if he looks awful, now it's like, all right, you either need to call somebody and get somebody else in there, or your season is over. I don't care. It's week 3. I don't care. It's 1-1. Their schedule is hard. It's very tough. You're playing a lot of good defense, a lot of good teams.
I think you made the Patriots had the hardest schedule, I should say. Like the Patriots coming in this year had the hardest schedule. I think with now Zach Wilson, you guys made it even harder. Because Zach Wilson brings you from here to here. He brings you down.
I'll put you this way: if the Jets lost that game to the Bills, this game would be almost must win.
I still think this one's a must win for you guys. Because you guys didn't really impress me. Like Gibson impressed me. His playing, he impressed me. But like that game didn't make me go, the Jets even with Zach Wilson's gonna be good. Like yeah, you're gonna hold good teams down points. Like you may face the Chiefs and hold them to 28 points. Yeah. But how many points are you putting up?
20, yeah.
Like, if you guys, New England looked good last week. Like, we're in the hardest division. I think the hardest division. I think all 4 teams could make the playoffs. Yeah. I think the Jets still could have a chance to make the playoffs. The way New England showed me last week, they could legit make the playoffs and have a winning record, right? But I also could see half these teams going 8-9.
Man in the mini screen here. Listen, Jake, we have 15 minutes until we got to get to class, so we got to start wrapping this up a little bit. But for now, I'm just gonna say this.
4 games.
I'm gonna say this. So because we got to keep it quick.
And I'm taking the Jets.
I thought the game against the Giants was more of the Giants being awful than Dallas being good. So I'm going to give a slight edge to the Jets here. But I think it's gonna be a good game, a close game, fun game. Let's see what happens.
All right, Commanders at the Broncos.
Commanders. I like their win last week.
I'm taking the Commanders. Denver, they're not good. They lost to the freaking Raiders. They're just as bad as they were last year. I'm sorry.
Broncos country. Let's die.
Let's cry.
Broncos country. Let's drive off a bridge whenever they hear from them again. Go Commanders, go.
Yep.
We are the Commanders.
Sam Howell's the goat. No.
That's true.
All right. Sunday Night Football. Dolphins. New England Patriots. Ashton, take it away.
I am actually picking the Patriots on this. I think it's a good game, but the only thing is I think the way we played last week and the way the defense played, I think they're going to be able to hold Tua down. Yeah. I don't trust the Dolphins defense. Yep. And their O-line is not great, so I'm afraid for Tua because our front 7 looked legit last week. Keon White was in Hurts' face. It's going to be a close game. I think the Patriots win. Mac's going to look good. I'm just going to go from there and say the Patriots are going to win 28-24.
Okay. Justin?
So I'm actually going to go with the Patriots as well for this one because I just received some news on Sleeper that Jalen Waddle was limited at practice today.
Crap, he's on my team.
So and you know who drafted him? Me. You know who had him? Me. So there we go. Like I said, I curse every player and then give them away.
I think he plays.
But still, the fact that he was limited in practice is a little scary. It's a little concerning. If he doesn't play, because it's an oblique issue. So if he doesn't play, then I just don't think Tua and Tyreek Hill is going to be. You can only rely on it.
I still don't think Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill is enough to beat the New England.
You can still rely on it. You can still rely on Tua and Hill, but even still, just looking at that alone, I'm gonna go for the Patriots.
Vic Fangio's defense did not look good at all last week.
Yeah, this game's gonna be really close. I'm gonna take New England by a smidge. I think they win by.
I think New England has a better roster. I think they have better talent. I think we just have a better overall roster.
I think Miami has a better roster, but Miami has a much lower floor. I'll say that.
Yeah, I think they could finish as the worst team in
Absolutely.
the East.
So I'll take New England by a smidge. I just don't see Miami doing what they did
last week.
Because like I said, the Chargers' defense is not that good. All right, Monday Night Football, we got a doubleheader. Saints at the Carolina Panthers. Oh, good God.
That is a mid-off.
That hurt saying
That
it.
is a mid-off.
I think it's the Panthers. I think Bryce Young finally gets his win.
I'm taking Panthers.
I like the Saints. I just think Panthers at home, momentum, fans. I think and Bryce Young's first home game. Yeah, because they were in Atlanta last week. I just think they just have an edge to just win that game. I think it's gonna be really close. If you pick the Saints, I wouldn't be mad because at that point it's just like this one's a who.
Yeah.
Who wins? Who cares?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Saints by an eyelash. Carolina didn't look good week 1. Now it's his first home game for Bryce. It's he's in prime time for the first time ever. There's gonna be some nerves. I think, and there's not a single team in NFC South that is good. There's 1 or 2 teams that are mediocre and maybe could sneak in with a couple of very bad teams. The Saints probably win the division like 8-9, 9-8.
The Saints are the best team. In that
Yeah,
division.
I'll take the Saints by an eyelash, and then the second game on Monday night.
I'm taking Steelers.
Cleveland Browns, the Pittsburgh Steelers, taking the Steelers over the Browns.
I'm taking the Steelers.
I'm taking Cleveland. Cleveland at least impressed me last week. Where was Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
I mean,
Pickett looked awful.
they were also playing as arguably the best defense in the league.
But here's the thing: everyone came in like all I hear on Twitter is the hype about this offense that it's gonna look better than last year because they played really well in the preseason, and then they pretty much throw up a goose egg.
Yeah.
They pretty much threw up a goose egg because I think when they scored a touchdown it was already like a 28-point leg. Like it was a 24-point game at that point. Like who cares at that point when they scored, right? Like it was to a point where Trent Williams was actually rooting for the Steelers to get a first down because he wanted to break.
10 minutes, so we got to go to class. So I don't.
So I'm taking Cleveland.
Yeah. For this one, the Steelers' offense legitimately looked like Mike Tomlin canceled training camp and didn't play his guys in preseason and said based off of a couple weeks in OTAs, let's just see what happens. They looked awful. Their offensive line looked like it was made of paper airplanes. I'm taking Cleveland. Their defense is frail this year. Pittsburgh doesn't look good. I'm taking Cleveland. All right. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you, Ashton.
Thank you.
Thank you, Justin, in the back. Until next time, so long. Have a great day.
Bye.